Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I was at Home Depot today and I got this pretty orchid here. And since I got the orchid, I'm going to show you how you take care of a orchid once you get it home. You cannot just buy an orchid and stick it in your windowsill. You have to repot it. That's what you always have to do once you bring home a orchid. This is one of the things which I have learned. Because of the plastic pot that you see this orchid in, this is not an acceptable pot for orchids, because that most orchids happen to be epiphytes, which means which means they're plants that grow on other plants for support, kind of like the staghorn fern is. But what you do is that when you because they may have got one little drainage hole here, and also epiphytes like to have airflow around their roots. That's what the epiphytic orchid's like. And if what you need to do is that you need to get your shears, and you have to trim off all the dead roots which are on your orchid. Where I learned this stuff from is there is a YouTuber called Miss Orchid Girl. That is where I learned most of my learned most of this from. And also, if your roots are firm, the roots are good. However, if they're squishy, they are no good, and you need to pry away as much of the much of the old material as possible, because chances are it's going to be very root. It's going to be old, and it's going to be be decomposing, and you're going to need some fresh material. And as you're doing that, you need to trim away the all the dead roots. Okay, I'm looking for more roots. Might even need to trim roots. Okay, I'm going to get some long fibered sphagnum moss to wrap up so it can help hold water. What this is going to do is that it's going to help hold water around. It's going to help hold water a little bit better. Okay, because these are epiphytic orchids, you do not use regular potting soil. You need to use a more regular orchid mix, like I got here, which I use for my previous orchids. Because these are orchids, they're going to require a little bit different care than your regular houseplants. You can mix up your own if you happen to be more experienced, but I am not. So I got this pre-mixed orchid bark, and this should be okay for the next few years. Okay, little tidbit here: whenever you water an orchid, you never water from the top, and you also need to get it in. And you never get it into the crown of the orchid, because you need to water it like this, because if you get it into the crown, like in here, you can cause crown. Eventually, it's gonna cause crown rot, and your orchid's gonna start to die. If it happens, of course, accidents do happen. Take like a take like a dry towel, dry washcloth or something, and just dry it in here. Okay, since we talked about the potting and the way you water it, let's talk about something else that some people might be curious about. Why are orchids so damn expensive? Well, the question for that is in their biology, because of if you take a look at the seeds of plants. Most seeds happen to have a little function called endospermy, which is basically the food reserves for orchids. Excuse me, it's the food reserves for seeds. However, not all seeds have this. A big example of this is about orchids. Orchids do not have the luxury of having.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, nobody.